Well, good morning, Diet Disruptors. Carrie here. And yeah, I'm not in my normal, regular space for podcasting. I decided I was just going to hop on while I'm having my morning coffee to bring you something a little different than what I normally do. Now, if you've been following along at all, you know that my team and I have been unbelievably busy because at the end of February and the beginning of March, we did something we've never done before. We did a free live, really, I call it a 5-day challenge, but really it was a 6-day challenge because we went all the way to Saturday and it was incredible. If you were there and you're here live or watching the replay or listening on the podcast, wherever you are watching this or listening to this, put in the comment if you were here and let us know what you think. I had so much fun. It was the first time we've ever done anything like this where we spent this much time, preparing incredibly valuable content, as well as really just thinking through how can we make people feel so incredibly supported. So every single person that participated had their own coach that they could text, that they could ask questions to. Before the live event, we had a lobby where people could chat and hang out. And then after the live event, everybody could go into their coach's offices and actually chat and talk to their coach. It was like nothing we've ever done before. And as I prepared content, I really wanted everybody to get value. We had almost 2,000 people register for this live event. So if you were one that registered and are like, I never really got it, I didn't really show up, or if you were somebody that didn't register and you're like, well, heck, that sounds good. Unfortunately, the replay is gone. And that's a little bit of that behavior specialist in me. I knew that if I just let the replay stay out forever, nobody would get to it. They'd be like, I'll get to it later. But I told everybody the replay was going on Sunday night, and it did. So we can't watch the whole replay for free. We do have an opportunity if you want to purchase lifetime access for the replays. And if you do, then go ahead and put in the comment replay, and we can send you the information for purchasing that. And just know that in a few months, I think we're going to do it again. It was a ton of work, but now that we've done it once, we feel like, okay, we could do this. We could do this. And the feedback was incredible. I mean, literally, we didn't get one piece of negative or critical feedback. And I have never run anything for free before where people felt like it was filled with so much value. So kudos to my team. And just, I always say, if you want something different, you gotta do something different. And I know that we can't work with every single person that comes through our doors. We are a very small coaching community. We bring in maybe 15 women a month. So I knew if we were bringing in almost 2,000 people, we couldn't even say yes to all those people. I needed them to feel like they got something out of it. And they did. So this is what I'm going to do. If you want to watch the replay, you do have to purchase that. So put in replay if that's what you want information on. We'll send it to you. But what I did is I recorded a very, very mini version of the webinar, a 30-minute mini version of it. So I'm going to play that today for you. So you can go ahead and watch that. And if you're interested in booking a call with us to learn more, and you want kind of some more details about what we did in that challenge and how we work with people, then there'll be information at the end of that you can tap into. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do something a little different. I'm going to do this 30-minute, very condensed, literally 6 days of content into 30 minutes. You want it? Here you go.
I'm going to ask you a really serious question. One that might be the most important question anyone has asked you in a really long time. I want you to be honest with yourself. How long have you been dieting, obsessing about your weight, or trying to change your body? Be honest with yourself. What's it been? 10, 20, 30 years? What are you chasing? Weight loss? Well, how's that been going for you? If you're like most women I talk to, everything that used to work isn't working anymore. So what if in the next 20 minutes, I could tell you exactly why those diets haven't worked? Spoiler alert, has nothing to do with your lack of willpower or something being wrong with your body, and give you the actual scientifically proven formula to release weight, support hormone balance, boost your metabolism, while also improving your relationship with food in your body. And it has nothing to do with fasting, keto, low carb, calorie counting, or giving up any of your favorite foods. And yes, even as a pre or post-menopausal woman, you can actually get healthy by eating carbs all day, every day. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. And that roller coaster of confusion and frustration you've been on, it ends today. My name is Carrie and I'm a recovered dieter turned nutritionist with a background as a world-renowned behavior specialist who's discovered an extraordinary formula to boost your metabolism, shed extra weight, and support hormone imbalance, all without restriction and deprivation, and while improving your relationship with food and your body at the same time. I've taught this to thousands of women in my own private practice and reached millions every day as a co-host of the most watched nutrition show in the world. I speak all over the country to empower women to live their best lives by living with food freedom and getting something different by doing something different. And over the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal to you exactly what it is. So why is it so extraordinary, you might ask? Because it's the only thing that I have found in more than 10 years that allows ordinary, busy, pre- and post-menopausal women to finally release weight while getting at the real source of the weight gain, which isn't a lack of willpower or discipline at all, despite what the diet industry has led you to believe. And you don't need to count your calories, buy special supplements, enter everything you eat into an app, or give up carbs to do it. This is totally different than anything you've seen or tried before. There are so many gurus and health experts out there screaming about the latest fads and gimmicks and diets. But let me save you a lot of wasted time here. There is a scientific reason why all of those diets and fads haven't worked and will never work for the long term. It's because they were never designed to help your body thrive. I mean, name one thing that thrives in a deficit. Like, just one thing. It's kind of a loaded question because I ask this all the time and no one can give me an answer. So why is it that we think that if we put our body at a deficit, it's going to thrive? A healthy body will not hold on to fat cells or weight if it doesn't need to. So what if I told you that all of these years of being on that dieting roller coaster have actually been the root cause of why you now continue to gain weight? And what if I told you that losing weight has nothing to do with calories in or calories out or any deprivation for that matter? That restricting calories, carbs, or food in general is actually causing you to gain weight, age faster, and it's putting your body at risk for metabolic disease like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, and more. And it's also just plain miserable. But what if I also told you that the weight gain that you experience, it's a symptom of health and hormones? Let me say that again. Weight gain is a symptom of health and hormones, yet everyone keeps focusing on the symptom and not the actual root cause. So, if weight gain is a symptom of something else, what if we went after that something else? Would that just cut the weight gain off of the roots? Could you then actually release weight? The answer is overwhelmingly yes. There is one nutritional approach that has stood the test of time year after year and has helped millions of people finally get the results that they want and love their bodies again. Are you ready for the formula? It's eating protein, fat, and carbs in the right combination and frequency to help you achieve blood sugar stabilization. The fact is, your body is a refuel as you go machine, and we have to give our body that consistent fuel in order for it to thrive. And if you want to maximize your success as fast as possible, eating these, what we call PFC balanced meals in the right portions and the right frequency throughout the day will consistently fuel your body and boost your metabolism. Why? Because that will balance your blood sugar consistently throughout the day. Not only is blood sugar stabilization at the core of every single metabolic process in the body, but is also the foundation to curb cravings, why your body stores fat, aging, and even stabilizing your mood. Science has discovered that 80% of people without diabetes, they experience blood sugar roller coaster spikes every day, and this causes inflammation, aging, insulin resistance, and it creates short-term symptoms like cravings, hunger, poor sleep, acne, weight gain, fatigue, even mental health disturbances, and menopausal symptoms. But then chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, PCOS, heart disease, high cholesterol, even stroke and cancer can all be contributed to a dysregulated blood sugar. Weight gain, infertilities, cravings, and here's the thing, doctors don't know how to properly diagnose and help. This is because education for doctors is focused on pharmacological and not preventative. Most doctors are so ill-trained in understanding how our bodies work optimally that they themselves are on the dieting roller coaster. In fact, our number one client at Disruptive Nutrition, they're doctors. Doctors have historically received almost no nutritional training, which totally limits their ability to effectively talk to patients about it. And during 4 years of medical school, most students spend less than 20 hours on nutrition. It's totally disproportionate to its health benefits for patients. And every one of our clients knows more about nutrition and fueling their bodies correctly than their doctors do. So if you leave this video to go do anything else other than learn how to balance your blood sugar, you might as well reconcile right now the fact that you will continue to gain weight, have hormonal imbalances, age faster, and put your body at risk for every metabolic disease. I'm serious. So you have two choices to really achieve the goals that you want. You can DIY your way through this yet again, not only continuing to guess at what your body needs, but also knowing that your history of self-sabotage, yes, it's gonna rear its head again because it always does, and you don't really know why or when it's gonna happen. Or you could learn a simple, sustainable, and satisfying approach based in the power of blood sugar stabilization and personalized for the refuel as you go machine that your body actually is, as well as for the individual lifestyle and mindsets that you know you need to maintain. I mean, let's think about this. Have you ever walked into an airplane and looked left and saw the pilot in the cockpit and you were like, oh, thank goodness I am not flying that plane. That looks hard. So you just walk in, you turn right, you go take your seat, and like you order a cocktail and you're just like, okay, I'm really content in being the passenger. Well, think of your body like that plane. For too long, you've been the passenger, having no real idea of what your body needs, no true understanding of your personality, triggers, or why you self-sabotage. So it's no wonder you keep landing in a different place other than where you want to go. You actually don't know how to fly the plane. But we have to be the pilot and the passenger. Imagine knowing exactly what your body needs so you can pilot that plane in any weather, any turbulence, any emergency situation, that regardless of the curveballs you're thrown in life, you never fall victim to self-sabotage again. It reminds me of Donna, who actually learned how to balance her blood sugar years ago by the exact person who I now co-host my daily nutrition show with, Mark McDonald. And yet, while she knew how the engine of her plane worked, she had no idea what to do when life showed up. Her mother died. And then her work as a healthcare professional during COVID just left her anxiety completely debilitating her, and she fell off. And when her weight gain became problematic enough, she went on to hire 3 different dietitians, and with each one, she put on more and more weight. Because not only did all of them put her on a deprivation diet, but she was even more confused about how to fly her plane. Nothing was working, and the one thing that she had done years ago that did work, she didn't know why she fell off. It was then that she heard me on a podcast with Mark, and she realized that while she may have learned the concepts, she really didn't know how to fly her own plane. Sure, she could do it when life was easy, but as soon as she hit turbulence, she went right back to self-sabotaging and had no idea why. It wasn't until she layered on her learning of what her body wanted with what her mind needed that she was able to not only fly her own plane, but completely change the flight plan. Remember, as a behavior specialist, that is what makes this uniquely different, because not only has her body changed more than she ever thought it would, but when she really realized that she wasn't ever going to be a victim of self-sabotage again was when she was put to the test. Her father and her best friend died in the same week. Her son went through a major mental health issues, and she changed jobs. But Donna stayed steady in the cockpit, adjusting and pivoting as needed, but never letting any of those curveballs derail her. More than a year later, she is still growing strong and actually now coaching others on how to fly their planes as a certified nutrition coach. But Donna wasted so much time and effort and money, and I don't want that to be a part of your story anymore. So if you decide to keep searching the Facebook or the Instagram or the TikTok for the perfect weight loss cure, you're going to have to follow their meal plan. regardless of whether or not you like that food, regardless of whether or not it works in your life, you're gonna have to make different meals for yourself than your kids. And understand up front that you're not gonna be able to do this on vacation, when you get takeout, or when you wanna go out to dinner with your family, or when life throws you curveballs. You're gonna have to track what you're eating and decline all the good food and drink that your friends are enjoying at like a party, or you're gonna say, all right, screw it, and then fall off the wagon and promise to go back on it on Monday, only to feel miserable at the start of doing it all over again. Or there's another option. You can learn how to balance your blood sugar by fueling your body all day, never feeling deprived, eating carbs, and speeding up your metabolism every time you eat. And at the same time, learn how to recognize your own personality triggers and why you self-sabotage, even if you feel like you know what to do, because it always happens, right? I call it food freedom. I know for me, when I really drilled down to what I wanted, like really wanted, it was to be healthy. I wanted to have energy and not feel like I needed a nap in the middle of the day. I wanted to sleep well and not keep waking up with the hot flashes. I wanted to not have to think so much about food. I was sick of feeling guilty when I ate something quote unquote bad, and I wanted to feel good in my skin. I was mad at myself for not being able to control myself around food, even when I promised myself I would do better. I wanted to feel like what I was doing was right and that I was in control, and I never felt like I was. And what I realized as I was chasing weight loss and all of those diets was that I was getting nowhere. I was depriving myself, believing that I had to take in less than I burned, but the more and more I did it, the more my cravings set in and the more obsessed I got. After years of chasing weight loss, I was unhealthier than I had ever been. And worse yet, I was impacting my 2 young girls. I didn't think I was, but when they were just 5 and 6 years old, they commented to each other that I didn't eat the pizza at Friday family pizza night because it had too many calories. I realized my secret obsession with my body and food wasn't a secret after all, and it was rubbing off on them. I had to change my family tree. And now, as young adults, my girls are equipped and confident about their own bodies and will never have to go through the decades of obsession, stress, and confusion about just not knowing how to serve their bodies, but also that their value is so much more than a number on the scale. The thing I am most proud of is stopping the cycle of generations of dieting and disordered eating that was a part of my history. And as a result, my girls will live with a totally different life and future. So many people think they want to give their kids more than they had when they were growing up. And we often think about it in terms of finances. But in reality, imagine if they could grow up free from the hold that diets have had on you for decades. That is what it means to change your family tree, because with health and confidence, we can do way more than any amount of money. I think about my client, Karen Lynn, who was told by her dance team instructor in middle school that she had to go on a diet because I don't take a fat girl to States. And in fact, she had been on a diet since she was in 3rd grade. And so now in her mid-50s, she realized that she had been on a diet for more than 45 years and had lost the same 100 pounds for decades. When we met, she showed me 10 years of food journals where she tracked every single piece of food she had ever put in her mouth, as well as her weight from every morning and every evening. And yet she couldn't even walk up the stairs in her house. And even with the dozens of diets she had done for more than 40 years, she had never been taught the concept of blood sugar stabilization or how to understand the cycle of self-sabotage, her triggers, or how to hit the curveballs of life. And today, less than a year after working with us, she has eaten more food than she probably has in her entire life. She's finally not afraid of carbs. And with her husband as a professional chef, she now eats what he cooks. And you know what's funny? She didn't even know how much weight she had lost because she decided that the scale controlled her emotions too much, and she trusted the process. So she went to the doctor recently for a checkup, and when he told her that she had lost 60 pounds, she cried. And it wasn't even because of the number, but because she realized that while that was a victory, the life she got back was the real success. Her husband said, "I finally have my wife back." And her husband? Well, he was a diabetic who refused to do any of her diets because they were so miserable. But once he saw what she was doing and how simple and satisfying it was, he decided to jump in. Karen Lynn had been scared for her husband's life for years, knowing that diabetes increases your risk for dementia by almost 80%. But she couldn't get him on board with changing any of his habits. Remember, he was a chef. He didn't want to give up what he was eating. But now, since he started learning this lifestyle, he went to Karen Lynn and said, I'm mad about all this. And when she asked why, he said, because my doctor never told me any of this. Even when I got my diagnosis, I was just taught how to give myself insulin. That's not okay. So not only is Karen Lynn finally free from the hold that diets have had on her, but she is saving her husband's life as well. And now they have a new future. Karen Lynn never could have imagined not having to track her food, but she also knew that to get something different, she had to do something different. And since what she was doing for so long wasn't working, she was like, all right, I'm going to give this a shot. But imagine, no more restricting your calories, allowing food to make you feel guilty, feeling deprived, and all the while gaining confidence every day because you are learning how to fly your own plane, while gaining energy, shedding inches, and loving yourself every step of the way. Imagine learning so much that you know more than your doctors and could even teach this to others. I think of my client, Dr. Ann. She came to us as one of the most well-established and respected physicians on the East Coast. Even today, it floors me how much of the basic info I taught her. She had always been taught that you just take in less than you burn, but she also knew the importance of blood sugar. She tests her patients every day for their levels, but had no idea that her own dysregulated blood sugar was the key to releasing weight and getting healthy. In just 6 months, she dropped 6 dress sizes, has been on my podcast multiple times, and now tells every patient she sees what they need to be doing and how to do it. After spending nearly a decade working with female clients to permanently change their relationship with food, take a hold of their health, and love their bodies again, I've developed a singular approach to nutrition that I call the trifecta transformation. Using my unique expertise as a behavioral scientist, combined with the science of blood sugar stabilization, I coach women through the curveballs and stumbling blocks that normally derail permanent transformation to ensure that you achieve all your health goals and finally love your body again. I focus on mind, body, and sustainability, the trifecta. So can you see why what you've been doing before didn't work and why this will? It's not your lack of willpower or inability to stick with anything. Gosh, you've been on this roller coaster for decades and you're still here looking for answers. That's resilience and grit. You have what it takes. You simply haven't been given the formula for success. I hadn't either. And if you're mad right now about it, you should be, because I was. But that anger is what propelled me with urgency to do something about it for the last time. We were not put on this earth to find the perfect diet, but we keep living like we were. I always joke that this is why women are president, because we have spent all of our time counting calories and tracking everything on an app. We are here for a purpose, something much bigger than the weight on the scale. And it's time that we take back our power and give our bodies what they need so they can respond by doing what you always wanted those diets to do, but they never did. And let's get you on with your life. So many of us let the chaos of life keep us from showing up. And it's one of the hardest parts about being consistent and sticking with something. But when you understand food and when you learn how to adjust in any situation that life throws at you, you can and you do stick with it forever. Think about it. Did any of those diets give you the confidence that wherever you are, whatever is happening in your life, you'll know how to adjust, adapt, and still succeed? No. You were always on a diet when you were motivated, life was somewhat calm, and you were frustrated enough with your body. But when the holidays hit, when the kids were home for the summer, when you were on vacation, when the work-life balance was upside down, we would always fall off. That's because diets aren't flexible, adaptable, and they're not simple. It's scientifically proven that dieting increases our cravings, that then decreases our willpower, and then on top of it all, you have so many rules that you can't possibly get through the holidays being on a diet, and it's just way too hard. And let's face it, you want to enjoy yourself during the holidays, and no diet I ever did was enjoyable, right? So here's the deal. If you feel like you've tried everything out there and still aren't making progress and have probably gained back the weight plus more, if you don't have the energy you know you could, if you find yourself craving food, binging, or even just tried eating healthy, if you dread the thought of what life will be like on another diet, recognize you're not alone. The diet industry has us believing that we have to do those things to lose weight. But it isn't true, and every time we believe that and we try again, we're actually making the entire situation worse. you can change the story that you're telling yourself right now, that nothing works and that your body's broken. I want you to know the solution, to figure it out, to stop the roller coaster dieting, to feel better, to have more energy, and to be the role model and influencer for your family that will set them up for lifelong success. I want you to have your time and freedom back from the hold that dieting and looking for solutions has had on you. Imagine what your life could be like a year from now if you say yes to yourself now. I know it takes a complete shifting of our thinking to go from the dieting mindset to fueling our bodies, but it's a good example of how while it feels like you've tried everything, you really likely just tried the same thing over and over, and you haven't tried this, not in the way we teach, where we're not only teaching you a new way of looking at food, but we're also ensuring that you are aware of your emotions, your relationship with your body, and how to develop consistent habits that don't rely on motivation. Because let's face it, motivation, it comes and goes. So before you decide what you're going to do now, because let's face it, you have to do something, you must be able to answer yes to these 3 essential questions. 1, is it based in science designed for your body to thrive? Diets are based in science, but they are not designed for your body to thrive. And 2, is this something you would allow your kids to do? If this isn't something you would let your kids to do, why are you doing it? Not only are you a role model for them, but our bodies are physiologically the same. They rely on blood sugar stabilization just like you do. And 3, is this something you can do for the rest of your life? How you lose weight has to be how you maintain it. Just like any relationship, it relies on consistency over time. No relationship requires you to be perfect, and neither does your body, but consistency is key. And so ask yourself, how long have you really been consistent with your body? If you're like most people, you haven't been much. And if you think about those diets, could you really do them forever? No. So when your next nutritional approach can say yes to those 3 questions, well, in a word, it's freedom. Our approach, what we teach and how we teach it, is the only one you will ever find that can emphatically say yes to those 3 questions, thus guaranteeing you long-term success, learning how to fly your plane. So here's how we can help. My team has set aside some time in the next week to speak to you personally about how you can apply these exact principles starting today. What I want to do is invite you to book a complimentary, I call it a Love My Body call, so that we can break down what our specific framework would look like for you based on your body, your life, your goals. I want you to get absolute clarity on how to apply our 3 pillars of mind, body, and sustainability so you can get the results that you've always been trying to get from diets and live the purpose you're meant to live. The cost for this call is free, and we're a small team, and we really will spend time digging into your biology, your lifestyle, your metabolism, so we can only handle a limited amount of these calls, and it's not for everyone. But if you're a woman who is maybe in their 40s to 60s, and you feel like you've tried it all, and you're ready for the last first date with any nutritional approach again, if you're ready to build trust with your body and to speak its love language, even if you think you can't stick to anything or that nothing works, I promise you that belief ends here. But I think this is really important to know who this call is not for. So if you're more focused on that number on the scale versus actually getting healthy so that you can get to the root cause of your weight gain, if you won't commit to 15 minutes a day to learning and showing up for yourself, if you still believe that you have to put your body at a deficit to make progress, you're not ready for this yet. And yes, this call is completely free because it's a chance for women who are really ready to go on their last first date with any attempt to lose weight and get healthy to learn more about the incredible life-changing way we would work with you. And if we both decide that working together would be a good fit, there would be a financial investment. I would say we don't place a woman into a program, but we develop a plan for a woman using our framework of the trifecta transformation, mind, body, and sustainability as a foundation. We know that as a 62-year-old retired postmenopausal woman, she's going to have a very different lifestyle than a 40-year-old working mom of young kids. So what we develop for you has to integrate into your unique lifestyle. It can't just sit on top of it. And we implement our proven framework of addressing and educating you on what your body needs, along with tapping into the disempowered mindsets that have been holding you back, and how you can do this forever in a way that works within your life. We work with women within their budget, and we are the best in the business with a proven track record of massive success for every woman who puts their trust in us. We will get you to where you want to go. And if we decide that you're a good fit and we both decide we want to work together, there is a financial investment. Like, you wouldn't hire a plumber to come fix your toilet without expecting to pay for it, right? So if you want to do this right, if you want to get off this roller coaster that's actually making you physically and emotionally sick, if you realize that you don't have time to keep trying to figure this out on your own anymore, then we really do want to talk to you. Ask yourself, what's the cost of not doing it right this time? So the goal of this call is to get you massive clarity on why you specifically have struggled to lose weight no matter what you do, how to balance your blood sugar in a way that fits your lifestyle and budget, and the exact roadmap to quickly shedding weight but keeping it off for the long term without ever having to diet again. I actually think of this as the anti-diet. And on the call, we're going to cover the exact steps that you can take to reach your goals, whether it's to release a little weight, a lot of weight, or simply live a life of health and freedom. For too long, food has kept us captive, and we want freedom from that. And if you want our help making this happen and we think it's a good fit, we'll invite you to take it to the next step and become one of our new clients that we take on inside our Disruptive Nutrition Trifecta transformation. We focus on the 3 pillars: mind, body, and sustainability. And if we do work together, you'll be working one-on-one with your coach who is certified in nutrition, mindset, and continues ongoing training every month. With daily personalized correspondence over text, voice messaging, or calls whenever you need them. They're your person for more than 3 months. And having been on this journey herself, she will help hold you accountable, give you unparalleled, personalized support and direct feedback on your health journey every step of the way. And I will personally be checking in with you. You'll even have my cell phone number, and you can connect with me whenever you need me. This is why you'll never see 10,000 women in our program. We enroll no more than 10 women a month because I need to know what's going on with each and every client. We're committed to this and truly being the last nutritional advice you'll ever need. I'll teach you in just 15 minutes a day how to balance your blood sugar, personalizing and tweaking based on data with a continuous glucose monitor, and how your body's responding. In addition, you'll embark on a journey of self-discovery, learning and reflecting daily about your triggers, personality, mindsets, motivations, and how to stop self-sabotage and curb emotional eating forever. When life throws you curveballs, we're going to show you how to hit them out of the park so that regardless of your circumstances, you will never fall off the wagon again. Imagine the next time life gets crazy, you won't get derailed, and in fact, you'll have less stress because you know how to manage what life throws at you. Not only will you know exactly what your body needs, but you will learn how to listen to its signals with a personalized blueprint for what the healthiest version of you does, says, thinks, and believes. And that's just the beginning. In just 15 minutes a day over a 3-month period, you, your coach, myself, and our community of like-minded women will work together to integrate this lifestyle into your life. We're not going to just place a meal plan on top of your already chaotic daily schedule. The first thing that we're going to do is teach you how to fuel your body without deprivation and how to see food in a very different way. This is so important because up until now, you've probably looked at food as good or bad, healthy or unhealthy. But when you eat something bad or unhealthy, how do you feel? Guilty, right? Out of control, mad at yourself. Instead, we teach you how food serves your body and food serves your soul, and we need both. Without this integral piece of looking at food and our body differently, it will always control you and you will never get out of the dieting roller coaster. This is where so many women get it wrong. They look for a meal plan instead of an education. And then the next thing we're going to do is really hone in on your why. This foundational piece is so important because if you're just going for weight loss, you're going to lose your motivation quickly. I mean, let's face it. When life gets stressful and there's a chocolate cake in front of you, you know you're not going to lose 40 pounds by tomorrow, so you might as well go eat the cake, right? The impulsivity and emotions attached to food keep us from doing anything consistently. But when we help you dig deep into what you want and why you want it, when it comes from a place of true love for yourself and your needs, you're going to make more intentional choices for yourself. And then next, we're going to show you how to be able to stay consistent so that no matter what life throws at you, you can always handle it without derailing your goals or feeling deprived. You will learn how to eat and manage your mindsets in any situation at any time, regardless of the curveballs that life throws at you. And finally, we're going to show you how to cultivate this new relationship between you and your body forever. Think about this as a marriage. It can't just be about the wedding or the honeymoon. It's how you show up for your partner consistently. And notice, I didn't say perfectly. You don't have to be perfect in a strong relationship. You just have to be consistent, and it's no different with your body. You are going to have a plan on how to cultivate this relationship daily so that you and your body continue to build trust with each other over time. When all this comes together, you'll notice a difference in your metabolism and your energy, and your obsession about food and your body in literally days. But we're not done yet, because this is not like any other plan where you sign up and then you have to pay a membership fee or buy products every month to keep up with it. I always say no program should be based on products. It should be based on an education which no one can take away from you. But if you ever said, I know what to do, I just don't do it, right? Then you know that knowledge is important and foundational, but it won't be enough. That's why we don't charge any ongoing membership fees or anything. Once you're in our family, we will support you for a lifetime. Your life today will look different than it does in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and beyond. As you age and life circumstances change, you are going to need support, and we will be there to help you adjust and respond. So here's what you do now. Like I said, we have limited availability for calls, and we're only opening them up for the next week. Once we fill our 10 spots for the month, we no longer take calls, and we start a wait list, and then you'll have to try to get on a call the next time we open up our calendar. This call is completely free and designed to help you get massive clarity. But we only want you to book a call if you're ready to really go on the last first date with any nutritional advice you'll ever need. If you know that you are worth investing in yourself and realize that the cost of not doing something is way more expensive than you would ever want to pay. Your quality of life, your future, your family, and your purpose on earth depends on this. Okay, one more thing. Let me show you how to book a call. So you're going to see when you click on the button below, you're going to be able to actually just get on our calendar, look and see what time is available. It's in your time zone. Click on it, put in your name, your email, and then you're going to be brought to a video where I'm going to ask you some questions. We want to get to know you and know your story, hear all about relationships here. So make sure you watch this little mini video and answer the questions that I ask you. If you don't answer them, we'll have to cancel the call, because this is our way to prepare and get to know you and be ready for a coach that's going to align with what you need and what you're looking for. Let's go.